welcome to today's Pilates class. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're ready for a lovely hour of movement. Today we're starting in a standing position, working on our spines. We're going to be using our spiky balls and our weights as well, and then we'll come down into some 4-point kneeling where we're going to challenge our legs and glutes with a little saluti, donkey kick and thread the needle combination before coming over onto our backs and finishing off mobilising our spine with some gorgeous spine curls. So today we're going to need our mats, our head cushions. I'd like you to have your hand weights as well. So these are 1 kilogram each. You can also use water bottles or tins of beans, whatever you've got hanging around. And finally, your spiky balls. So if you've got one of these, then great. It's quite a firm one. But if you don't have one of these, a tennis ball should do the job just as well. But these with the spikes are quite nice on your foot as well. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be in our standing correctly position in Pilates stance to begin. So bringing ourselves up through to a standing position. Let's bring our feet together. Make sure our heels are connected, then turn our toes out. So we've got a lovely V shape at the foot with the weight going down evenly through the base of the big heel, through the base of the heel, through the base of the big toe and through the base of the little toe. So just standing up here, trying to stack our hips, ankles and shoulders, drawing the toe muscles up and in and lengthening up through the crown of the head if you can. So we're going from like a slouch position to standing nice and tall. Let's think about what our legs are doing and just ask yourself whether you're really gripping through the front of the legs and the quads into the knees. And if you are, just try and relax your knees a bit here. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. Keeping your toes relaxed as well. So we've now found our lovely standing position, arms hanging heavy. So from here, let's just go straight into a shoulder shrug. We're just trying to get rid of any tension. Breathing in, we're going to lift our shoulders up. And breathing out, we're going to let our shoulders melt down. And again, breathing in, shoulders come up. Breathing out, come down. Maybe every time you do this, you can feel the tension just releasing a tiny bit more. And again, up and down, shrug and lower. Good, let's go one more time now, all the way up and lower down, well done. And now going into our chin tucks, keeping our toes relaxed, let's just bring the chin down into the chest, keeping everything else still, maybe feeling a stretch up between the shoulder blades and relax here, good. And again, bring the chin down. Maybe feeling that stretch and release. Chin coming in and relax. Lovely, let's go 3 more times now. And 2. Lovely. And our final one now, bringing the chin in. Good. And back, perfect. So from here, let's go straight into our side reach standing. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in and then breathe out. Bring one arm all the way up. Don't move your body just yet. That arm feels heavy today. And then lift up and out of your waist to go over to the side. We're keeping our hips still, feeling this lovely side reach. Inhale, reset the spine and bring the arm down. Go straight over to the other side. Let's exhale, bring the arm up. And over. So don't worry if this is your first movement of the day and you're feeling fairly stiff. I definitely am, but you may feel that as you get warmer, you got a little bit more movement in there. So up and over, restack and down. Exhale, lift the arm up. Keep on exhaling to bring the arm over. Inhale, restack. Float down. Good. Okay, 2 more times to each side. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. We're trying to keep our bodies, well, not our bodies, our legs and hips totally still. And just focus on that lovely movement at the spine. 2 more times to each side. Might seem a lot, but you also will feel that we're creating these beautiful movement patterns. And again, up and over. Good. Restack. Down, and our final one. Up over, restack, down. Last one to this side. You may feel your weight shifting between the feet as you move. Restack and down. Well done. Give our shoulders a bit of a wiggle. From here, we're going straight into our roll downs. We're going to keep our feet in this Pilates stance, but if it doesn't suit you, take your feet back to parallel. Now, whatever you do, just be aware about what your hips and bottom are doing. When we're coming into our roll down, we're trying to get the movement coming just through the spine in a bone by bone sequence as we go down. We're not sending our bottom back, so we're keeping our hips balanced over our heels. So let's give it a go. Remember, the first one might be a little bit clunky. So let's breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out. Nod the chin, soften the breastbone, and begin to lengthen down, hanging our arms long and heavy here. Lengthening down. Keeping hips balanced over the heels, so if you have hinged backwards, just bring your weight forward. Take a breath in here and then tuck the tailbone, restack, open out through the front of the hips first and then restack your spine bone by bone by bone. Okay, we're going to go 3 more times like that, getting warm already. So 3 more regular roll downs. Standing tall, breathing in, nod, soften and roll. Maybe getting a bit further down this time. Try and relax your toes, relax your knees, breathe in here. Breathe out, tuck the tailbone, restack the spine. All the way up. Let your shoulders come down. And we'll go 2 more times. So it's a surprise when you come up. Let's go 2 more times. Nod, soften and roll. Just be aware of how far down you can get on this. Keeping your toes relaxed. Breathing in, tuck and roll. Superb, and we'll do our final one now. Nod, soften and roll. Hanging long and heavy at the bottom. Big breath in, and then tuck the tailbone, restack, bone by bone by bone, all the way up to the top, shoulders come down, lift through the breastbone. Well done. Hair's annoying me today. So, done all of your roll downs just to start warming up the spine. Now from here, we're going to come into a little bit of arm and shoulder, but I'd like to remember how far down you got with that roll down. So from here, we're coming into a split stance. So I'd like to place feet in parallel, hip distance apart, and then step 1 foot further backwards, only as wide as you can have your heels down. So we've got our weight in between these 2 points. So just shuffle forward and backwards a bit. Both legs need to be long, and I'd like to draw your toe muscles up and in so your hips are pointing forward. We're not sending that back hip back, so just make sure your hips are square. From here, we're coming into our windows. So let's bring our arms up to start. Take a breath in, then breathe out, draw the elbows back. Rotate, reach, and forward. So we've now changed our centre of gravity, taken ourselves slightly off balance, which means that as you move your arms, this might be a little bit more challenging. So just think about what your legs are doing. Are your ankles working? Are your knees working? So we're combining exercises now, layering them up to make this challenge a little bit greater. Let's go 2 more times in this position. Make sure you're fully drawing the elbows back. Didn't even tell you the movement, I just presumed you'd know our windows. Reach, forward and down. Good. Now, let's swap the legs over. So try and get the same positioning, if you can. Before you check, draw the toe muscles up and in. Move your hips so that your hips are square and pointing forward. Make sure your weight is even between left and right. Toe muscles coming up and in. Drawing in for a big breath here and then breathe out. Draw the elbows back. Rotate. Reach and forward. Ask yourself if this feels any different here. Reach and forward. And again, draw back. Rotate. Reach and down. Draw back. Rotate, reach and down. 3 more times. Let's exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. Good. 2 more times. Exhale, inhale, inhale, and final one. Draw back, rotate, reach, forward and down. Good. Walk your feet back, give your feet a little bit of a walk out here. And now we're going to work onto our spiky ball. So a really nice way to release any tension that you're holding through the spine. So it's always nice to warm up first and then use your spiky ball or your tennis ball to give yourself a little bit of a massage on the foot. So we're just going to try and apply a bit of pressure down through the foot, rolling the ball around the base of the foot, the heel, up the arch, across the ball of the foot, down the side, between the toes. Really enjoying how this feels. So just applying that pressure there. And if you've got any areas that feel particularly tender, maybe apply a little bit more pressure just to enjoy how it feels. So you can get these balls in various levels of hardness. I've got quite a few hard ones. Smaller ones tend to be a little bit more firm as well. But just do whatever you can handle really. And remember, a tennis ball does work just as well. Just haven't got the spikes on there. So let's just spend another few seconds on this foot. Then pop that ball to the side. Place the foot down and just see if your foot, leg, ankle feel any different from the other one. If they don't, then that's fine. Trying to relax through. Cool. Okay, then let's go on to the other foot. So it might feel like warmer, it might feel like it's got more blood flow, and then when you tend to take yourself over to the second foot, it might feel really different. So for me, my left foot feels really tight, actually quite tender doing this. So it's interesting for you to work out what is going on in your body. You're going to get the ball up the inner part, across the ball of the foot as well. Enjoying rolling round. Good. Couple more seconds. Maybe apply a bit more pressure to anywhere which feels like it particularly needs it. And then let's pop the ball to the side, somewhere where you can't fall over it. Take your feet back into whichever position you had for your first roll down. So that might be parallel or Pilates stance. Set yourself up here. Make sure you're nicely balanced again. Breathe in to prepare and then breathe out to nod. Soften and roll. Just going into 2 more roll downs. So remember that bone by bone movement as you lengthen and hang. Coming all the way down. Maybe getting a bit further, maybe not. For me, it feels a little bit easier now. Let's take a breath in and then tuck the tailbone, restack, bone by bone by bone. Lovely. And we'll go one more time. Breathing in here and breathe out, nod, soften and roll again. Drawing down nice and slowly. Lengthening down here, maybe taking a few breaths in and out here. Just letting gravity bring you down a little bit further. And then tuck the tailbone, reset the spine, open out through the front of the hips and draw yourself up bone by bone by bone, letting your shoulders come back down and lifting up through the crown of the head. Well done. Okay, so from here we're going to get into our Pilates squats. Now I forgot to say, if you've got your squishy ball, then great. If not, don't worry. I like to use the ball just to give me a bit of feedback and alignment support for my Pilates squats, but you don't have to, it's completely up to you. We're going to set ourselves up though with our feet ever so slightly closer than hip distance apart. I'm going to pop my ball between my knees, and that just helps me engage a little bit through the inner thighs as well. So our feet are in parallel, weight even between left and right, so make sure you're not favouring one side. And then from here, we're just going into our regular Pilates squats. So you know these by now. We're getting bending at the ankle, knee and hip while our arms hang long and heavy, and the line of our spine stays the same. So we're moving on the inhale. So inhale to send your bottom backwards, knees forward, arms heavy, nice long back of the spine and neck. Exhale, press up through to your start position. And again, inhale, sink down. Exhale, press. Inhale, sink. Exhale, press. Lovely. Let's go 4 more times. So we're getting this lovely motion at the ankles, knees and hips. Engaging our core, challenging our spine a bit more as well. And 2 more times. Keeping our toes relaxed. And last one, sinking down and pressing through. Good. Now we're going to add in an arm and hip, no, not hip, heel movement. So we're going to practice this without the Pilates squat and then add it in. So we're going to add in an opposite arm, opposite heel lift. So starting in our standing position, as you bring the arm up through to shoulder height, you're lifting the opposite heel off the floor. Your knees will move slightly, but we're focusing on keeping our hips level. So let's exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And again, so you can feel the ball, if you are using the ball, moving between your knees. We're getting that lovely roll through the foot. And again, lift. Lower, lift, lower. So in itself, this is a lovely exercise. We're just changing our centre of gravity slightly, working on our coordination and getting some gorgeous movement through the foot. Okay, so now let's see if we can add this into our Pilates squats. So coming nice and tall once again, weight even through our feet. We're going to inhale to sink down into Pilates squats. Now keep this position as you lift opposite arm, opposite heel off. Lower down. Oh, that felt really clunky going down there. Lower. And again, lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. We'll go 2 more times to each side. Lift. Lower. 1 last one to each side. Lower. Lift, lower, and press. Oh, that was quite hard on the legs. So give your feet a little bit of a wiggle. I'm going to do my next set without the ball to see if I can maintain that lovely alignment. So setting ourselves up once again. Inhale, sink down, and now exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. I've got really juddery leg when I bring the heel down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, good. 2 more times to each side. And last one to each side now, lift, lower, lift, lower, and press. Give your feet a little bit of a walk out. We've got 1 more set like this to go. So set yourself up once again. Inhale, sink, lift. Lower. So this is a fantastic one. Work on the alignment of the ankle, knee and hips. Challenging our core stability, so keeping our spine and core really strong here. Good. 2 more times to each side. Ooh. The shaking is real. And final one. And up. Good. Give your feet a little bit of a wiggle out. We've got 1 last set, but this time I'm going to try and go double speed with that movement. So nice and tall to begin with. Inhale, sink, and now lift. And we're just going to switch. 3, 2, 1, and 0. I don't know why I added 0. And press yourself up and give your leg a little bit of a wiggle. Well done. Really feel that there. Okay, so still working on our legs. We're going into something called a leg shaper. Now, if you wish, you can have something to hold on to, like a wall or a chair, because this one requires a fair amount of balance. I've got options for you though. So if lifting up onto the balls of your feet doesn't feel great for you today, then you can just do the leg movement without the lift. But see how you go, and if you can then manage it, then fab. So we're bringing our feet slightly closer together, setting ourselves up here with our head, shoulders, hips and ankles stacked, and from here, just going to sink down, knees go forward, chin muscles come up and in, and press. And again, sink and press. So this is option one, it's the basic sliding down the wall. It's not just basic though, because it's really good for challenging your awareness of where you are in space, but also getting that lovely movement in to the ankles. Let's go 2 more times. And final one, sinking down and press. So you can either stick with that version, or you can do the same kind of thing but with your heels raised. So let's breathe in to prepare, breathe out, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Now keep your heels raised as you slide down the wall. It's very different from a Pilates squat. Press through, lower down. So I've got my gaze on something fixed on the wall just to help me keep my balance here, and that can really help. So exhale, lift. Whoa, inhale, sink. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Good, and again. Exhale, lift. Inhale, sink. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Can we go 4 more times here? Exhale. Inhale. Press and through. Now as we do this, we're being really careful that we're not sending our bottoms backwards. Let's go again. Lift. Lower. Press. Down. And 2 more times now. Lift. Lower. Press, down, and final one, lift, lower with control, press, and bring your heels down. Well done. Give your feet a little bit of a walk out if you need to. Well done. And then we're going to do 1 more set of 6 like this. So if you want to make this harder, you can have your arms up at shoulder height. So this is a really nice progression. It changes your centre of gravity once again, which means you have to work harder through your middle to try and find that lovely and strong position. So I'm going to have my arms up, palms facing down, lift up onto the balls of the feet, slide down, press and lower. And it is definitely a bit harder. Let's breathe in again. Breathe out, lift, sink, press, roll down, lift, sink, keep your heels raised, and down. 2 more times here. Lift, sink, press, down, and one final one, lifting up, sink, press, and down. Bring your arms down. Give your feet a little bit of a walk out. Well done. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into a little bit more arm and shoulder work now. I'm going to do a sequence of backstroke arms and windmill arms, and I'm going to do it again with some hand weights so you can see the difference. Now it is completely optional with hand weights, so see how you get on. So you can choose between either our parallel Pilates feet or our Pilates stance, heels together, toes apart. We're going to start with our arms raised, palms facing down. We have our shoulders, hips and ankles stacked, and we're trying not to do this with our body. We're going to try and keep our body totally still. So arms are down here, we breathe in, and then as we breathe out, one arm goes up, the other arm goes back. Inhale, centre, exhale, swap. So nice and smooth like this, moving through those 2 points. Good. And swap. Good. And again, so moving through these 2 points. Lovely. One last one, keeping your body totally still. This is our simple backstroke arms. and then come back through to centre, palms facing down. Now let's turn this into a windmill arm. So keeping your toes relaxed along the floor, let's breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, split. Inhale, circle. Exhale, back. I've got really confused. Exhale, split. Inhale, circle. Exhale, back. Let's pause for the inhale. And again. Exhale, split. So I'm going opposite ways each time. Try to keep your body totally still as you move your arms. So we've got that lovely stability through the spine and the core. And again. Inhale, split. Exhale, circle. Inhale, back. And again. Split. Circle. And through. Split. Circle. And through. We've got one last one like this. Split. Circle. And through. And bring the arms down. Well done. Give your shoulders and wrists a bit of a rest. Because from here we're going into something called a wringing out arm. This is just a gorgeous one, just to focus on the mobility of the arms and the shoulders. So keeping your lovely tall stance, float your arms up. Then I'd like to turn one arm up, the other arm is down, and then we're just going to rotate the arms. So your arms are moving like in opposite directions. Nothing else is moving, we're keeping our toes relaxed, shoulders away from ears. Twisting here. Good. Let's go 3, 2. So even holding your arms up here is quite challenging. Last one. Back to centre, bring the arms down, roll around through your shoulders. Okay, so now we have the option of doing that same sequence with our hand weights. So one in each hand, heels together, toes apart. We're starting off with those weighted backstroke arms. So bring the arms up, keep your body still. Check that you haven't leaned back to compensate for the weights being out in front. So let's breathe in and now breathe out. Swap. Inhale. Exhale. Some clicked then. So nice and smoothly, keeping our toes relaxed. It's so much harder to keep our body still. We've got this additional load. Good. And again. Let's go 2. Swing click there. And last one. Twist. Twist. Back to centre. Bring the arms down. Well done. Now let's add in those windmill arms. If it's too much, no problem. Just pop the weights down by your side. So keeping your toes relaxed again, arms up, breathing in to prepare, breathe out, switch. Exhale, circle. Inhale, return. I got that totally wrong with the breathing. Let's exhale, split. Inhale, circle. Exhale, centre. Exhale, split. Inhale, circle. Exhale, back. Split. Circle, back, split, circle, and back. Good. 3 more times. Keeping it really strong and controlled. 2. And our final one now. Making sure you're still moving with all that lovely precision. Back to centre, bring the arms down. Well done. So a final one is those wringing out arms. It's quite challenging. So we're going to bring our arms up through to shoulder height. One arm faces up, the other arm faces down. And let's just start to twist here. So holding your arms up at this position is really quite challenging, especially we've got now 1 kilogram in each hand. Brilliant. Let's go 4, 3, 2, sweating, and our last one, twist, centre, arms up, and bring the arms down. Well done. Roll around through your shoulders, pop your weights down, and have a little wiggle here. Fantastic. So we're already halfway through our class. Time for a break and a drink, and then we'll be back in 4-point kneeling to start the second part. Hi there, so we're back for the second part of our class, and we're starting off in our 4-point kneeling position. We're going to be needing your Pilates squishy balls to do this bit, so let's come over into our 4-point kneeling and set ourselves up with our hands directly beneath our shoulders and our knees directly beneath our hips, and then take your Pilates ball and pop it on the back of the spine. So, I've got a little knot in my top, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult, so let's see if we can balance up there. So, we've got, it's not going to work, use the other one. So we've got our ball balanced on the back of our spine, making sure we've got the lovely neutral lines of our spine and pelvis before we even begin. I'm just going to go straight into a shoulder drop, so keeping the ball here. Toe muscles come up and in. As we inhale, we draw the breastbone down towards the floor. Let the shoulder blades come together. And then exhale, press away. We inhale, sink. Exhale, press. That was not going to work. So I'm going to get rid of this and see if it's a little bit more successful. So the ball is balanced here. Let's go again. I can't do it today. It's terrible. Inhale, sink. Exhale, press. Let's go 3 more times. And 2. And our last one. And press. Now keeping a really strong lifter position here. We're going straight into our salute. So let's breathe in to prepare. Keep toe muscles coming up and in. And as we exhale, float one arm up, salute to the head. Inhale, down. Exhale, salute. Inhale, down. So we're going from side to side now, lifting and lowering, lift and lower. So ideally we're keeping that lovely support through the upper part of the spine, keeping our hips square to the mat as well. So smoothly moving here, lower, lift, lower. Let's go 2 more times to each side. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Final couple. Lift, lower, and lift, and lower. Now let's add in a rotation. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out, lift the arm up, and then let's try and rotate through the upper part of the spine. Back through, and down. So you can see this movement isn't a twist of the hips. Had we twisted the hips, we would have lost the ball straight away. So it's just a lovely rotation here. So lift the arm, rotate, back and down, lift, rotate, back and down. Good. And again, lift, twist, back, down. Lift, twist, back, down. Lovely. 2 more times. Maybe trying to get a little bit further each time and asking yourself whether one side feels different from the other. Final one to each side now. Lift, down, return, and last one, lift, twist, lift, down, and hand back behind yours onto the floor. Let's sit back, give our wrists a little bit of a rest here. Give your fingers a bit of a rest as well, because from here we're coming into our donkey kick. So we're still having the ball on the back of the spine to give us feedback about what is going on through our pelvis. So coming forward once again, let's take the ball, pop it on the back of the spine here. Make sure you're really strong and supported just like before. Toe muscles come up and in. And then from here, bring one heel up in the air, lower the knee down. Going to the other side. So we're going to exhale, lift, inhale, down. Exhale, lift, inhale, down. Exhale, Inhale, superb. So maybe try and get a little bit further each time now. Really moving at the hip, making sure we're not moving at the knee. If you've begun to walk yourself forward, then try and step yourself back up again in your normal start position. Lovely. One more time to each side. Lift, lower, and lift, and lower down. Good. Give yourself a rest once again. Because now we're going to try and add in a leg extension. So this is just increasing the amount of time that we're spending in this 4-point kneeling position. So great for your weight bearing of your upper body, but also this is just going to help control your legs. So we're working on our hamstring and glute strength a little bit more now. So back into 4-point kneeling. The ball is on the back of your spine again here. Toe muscles up and in. Lift the leg up into that donkey kick, and now keeping the leg raised, lengthen the leg so you're pointing the toe out behind you. Bend the knee, draw back down. Going to this side. Lift the leg, lengthen, bend, and down. Now it takes quite a lot of practice to do this without dropping between your shoulders or moving your hips. And down. Good. And again. Lift, lengthen, back, down. 2 more times to each side now, so toe muscles coming up and in, so you're lovely and supported. And again, lift, lengthen, bend, down, and final ones. And our last one here, lift, lengthen, bend, and down. Well done. Let's sit back, take the ball off your spine and have a rest here before we go into our next exercise, which is a thread the needle. So a lovely one for the rotation of our spine. Now with thread the needle, you can choose either to have the ball underneath you, so you're using that ball as a support as you thread through like this, or you can just use your hands along the mat. It's up to you, depending on which you prefer really, but which I'd like to make sure you do is not send your hips back over your heels. Keep your weight forward and see how that is. Okay, so let's breathe in to prepare and breathe out. Slide the arm through, bend that supporting arm, reach through here, pause, press and return. Then we go to the other side. Slide and reach, press and return. Slide, reach, press, return. Slide, reach, press, return. Good. 2 more times to each side. Again. Lovely. Last one to each side now. Reach, press, return, and our final one. Slide and reach, press, and back. Good. Sit back, have a rest here. And then we're going to try and add in a long leg. So, with this long leg, you can either keep the toe on the floor or lift that leg up so that it's long. So it's going to act like a long lever. It's going to take you off balance and be a little bit more challenging. So 4-point kneeling once again. Inhale, slide the leg away, and then exhale, lift the leg up as you simultaneously thread the arm through. An option is just to keep your leg on the floor, and that's a great building block for this one. So again, you have to really stabilise. So let's give that a go on the other side. We slide the leg on the inhale. Exhale, thread the arm through. Keep the toe on the floor, twisting through your spine. Back and through. So we inhale, slide the leg. Exhale, twist. Inhale, press. Draw back through. One last one to the other side, and then we'll lift the leg up. So you just saw what happens when you don't get the balance quite right. So keep that leg nice and long. Press and in. Slide the leg, twist and lift. Good. Press and through. Good. 2 more times to each side. Slide, lift, down and in. Slide, lift, down and in. Last one, slide, lift, back and in. And our final one now, slide the leg, lift the leg up, down, bring the knee in, sit back over the heels, well done, and have a rest here. Give your wrist a bit of a rest. I really regret this hairstyle. It's really annoying me. So give your wrist a rest, have a little wiggle through your fingers. So we're going to continue in 4-point kneeling just for one more exercise. So it's always really great for your weight bearing, but if you're starting to think this is a bit too much for your wrists, create fists instead and support yourself on your knuckles. Or remember, you can turn over the mat and make a little cushion for the heels of your hands to rest on. So also a great option here. So from here we're coming into tabletop 2. So ball goes back onto the spine and we're just going to put everything together and make it nice and strong. So ball drives me crazy. So 4-point kneeling. Inhale, slide opposite arm and leg away. Exhale, lift. So your body's in one nice long line from your toes to your fingers. Lower down and return. Then go to the other side. Slide, lift, down, in. Slide, lift, down, in. Slide, lift, down, and in. Good. 2 more times to each side. Slide, lift, down, in, slide, lift, down, and in. Let's do one last regular one like this to each side. Oh my god, I'm just really struggling today with this, with everything, I think. Slide, lift, down, in, and our final one now. Slide the arms and legs away, lift the arm and leg up, lower down, bring the knee in and sit back over the heels. Give your wrists a bit of a rest. Fingers a rest too. Okay, so now we're going to try and add in that donkey kick and the salute. I'm getting rid of the ball for this one. So let's give it a go. 4-point kneeling again. Slide, lift, and now bend the elbow as you bend that back knee. Lengthen, down and in. Slide, lift, bend, back, down and in. Slide, lift, bend, back, down and in. Good. So finding our way in this one is just giving you an awareness of where your body is in space, maintaining this lovely balanced position for a little bit longer, and getting that weight bearing as well as activating the back of the leg and the glute. Last one here. Slide, lift, bend, lengthen, down, in, sit back over the heels and roll around through the wrists. Well done. That was quite challenging, especially keeping the ball and the hair in order. Okay, so we're going to finish off today with some lovely relaxation position exercises. So I'd like you to come back down onto the floor now and set yourself up with the head on your cushion and the weight going down evenly through the back of the head, the back of the rib cage and the back of the pelvis. So set yourself up here, make sure your body is in a nice long line, your hips level with each other, shoulders are relaxing down as well, arms are flat on the floor by your sides. You might like to do just a few pelvic tilts here, forward and backwards, to get yourself into position. Then we breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, start to slide opposite arm, opposite leg away, reaching through the heel and reaching through the finger, and then draw back through. Exhale, slide. Inhale, through. Exhale, slide. Inhale, through. Good. And again. Slide the leg away and the arm away. Inhale, back in. And again, slide. Return. Slide. Good. Return, enjoying that length through your body. So basically it's the same position we end up in as when we're in our 4-point kneeling, doing our tabletop 2. Last one here. Exhale, slide. Inhale, return. Now, I'm going to challenge yourselves a bit. I'm going to get rid of my socks. I'm going to see if we can do this in a double speed position. So we have our weight going down, nice neutral spine and pelvis, and now starting with one arm, one leg out, going to swap over. So we're going to find more connection around our middle now. Speeding up is going to make it a lot more challenging to keep our torso still and our hips still as well. Good. I hear my heel as it goes off the mat. Let's go 4. Just breathing normally if you can. 3, 2, and last one. Slide and draw back through to centre. Make sure you're still in neutral spine and pelvis. I've just begun to arch ever so slightly in this one. Okay, so I'd like you to have your hand weights by your side now, so just pop them down by your side, ready for the next exercise. We're going to go into a spine curl. So you have your weight going down evenly, again through the back of the hips, the back of the pelvis and the back of the head. Bring your feet ever so slightly closer to your bottom and have your arms on the floor. We're going straight into 4 regular spine curls. So just like we started with, we're getting that mobilisation of the spine. So arms down, breathing in, breathe out, roll back, imprint the spine, and start to lift up from the floor, bone by bone by bone. Squeezing your bottom as it gets to the top. So you've now got a nice long line between your shoulders, hips and knees. Pause here for your breath in, and now breathe out, melt back down, one bone at a time, onto the floor, and pass back through to your neutral start position. And we'll go again. We roll back to imprint, engage, and lift up bone by bone by bone by bone. Pause here at the top. Lengthen back down onto the mat. So you can adjust the position of your legs and feet and see how that changes things if you wish. Roll back and lift, pausing at the top here. Melt back down, bone by bone by bone by bone, through to neutral, and we'll go one last one now. Roll back, lift up, pause at the top for your breath in, and now melt back down, one bone at a time onto the floor. Now we're going to add in a weighted double arm fly. I'm just going to shuffle away from the wall a little bit. Make sure you have plenty of space around you because you don't realise really how wide your arms are until you move them both at the same time. So to start with, we now have our arms directly above our shoulders, palms facing. Double check you're in your neutral spine and pelvis again before you start. We breathe in to prepare and then breathe out, roll back, imprint the spine, engage, lift up bone by bone by bone. So peeling your spine off. Now at the top here, inhale and open your arms out wide. Keep your hips raised. Draw your arms back in. Melt back down onto the floor nice and smoothly. Back through to your start position. And we go again. Rolling back, keep your toes relaxed and released. Lifting up, pause here. Open, close, melt back down. Lengthening down. Good, back through to neutral. And again, roll back, lift up, open, close, and lengthen down. Well done. So we're going to do 2 more times. On this next 2, just make sure that you're not letting your hips drop down as you open your arms. So keep your hips raised, open out, close, lengthen down, back through to neutral, and we'll do one last one here, rolling back, lifting all the way up, keep your toes relaxed on the floor, lift your hips, open, close, and now melt back down onto the floor, bone by bone by bone, lengthening back down, and drop your arms down, getting rid of the weights. Well done. Now, if you need to, just have a little hip roll from side to side. It's quite a lot of work on your spine. And so now we're going to combine combine that spine curl with a single knee fold. So a lot more challenge now for your stability of your pelvis and your body in general. So let's practice our single knee fold first of all. So neutral spine and pelvis as always. Remember, with a single knee fold, we move from the hip. So breathe in, prepare. Breathe out, float the knee in. Knee comes above the hip. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 2 more times to each side, so we're just warming up at the hips. Lift. Lower. Final couple. Lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Now let's see if we can combine that with a spine curl. So maybe bring your feet slightly closer in towards your bottom once again. Breathe in to prepare, and now breathe out, roll back, imprint, lift up bone by bone by bone by bone. Use your arms on the floor now, so support yourself with your arms as we float one leg into a single knee fold. Lower the leg down, float the second leg up, lift, lower, pause, melt back down onto the mat. Nice and smoothly. Good. And we'll go again. So breathing in here. And breathe out, roll back, imprint, lift up bone by bone by bone by bone. Hips, shoulders and knees in one long line. Now exhale here, lift the leg up. Inhale, lower down. Whew. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Take a breath in here, melt back down onto the floor. Good. Okay, if you really want to add extra challenge now, you can do exactly the same with your arms in the air. So now we haven't got the arm support. So this should be interesting. Let's give it a go. Breathe in, roll back, lift up bone by bone by bone. Now really use the strength of your leg here and the stability of your shoulders. So widen your shoulders as you float. Good. Pause. Melt back down onto the mat. Well done. Let's just do one last one like this. So breathing in, breathe out, roll back, imprint, lift up bone by bone by bone by bone. Pause. Let's go with the first leg, other leg first. Lift. Keep your hips raised. Lift the knee in. Lower the foot down. Pause. Take your breath in. Melt back down onto the floor. Imprint the spine back through to neutral. And lower the arms down. Well done. Let's bring our knees and feet together. Take your arms slightly wider and enjoy a gorgeous little hip roll here. So take the knees over to the side. Maybe turn the head the other way as well to get that lovely twist through the spine. Back to centre. And over to the other side. Back to centre. And over. Good. Centre. And over. Cool. 2 more times here. Lovely. And last one to each side now. Over to the side, centre, and over. Good. And centre. Fantastic. Okay. So from here, let's fold one knee in, lengthen the opposite leg away, and bring the knee into just getting a lovely stretch into that hip socket. So maybe even going into the base of your spine as well with that lovely stretch as you press on that shin a little bit here. So breathing in and breathing out here. Good. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Good. And then let's swap over onto the other side. And just see how different it feels. Does it feel tighter? Do you have more of a stretch? Does it feel restricted in terms of its movement? Breathing in and out. Good. Okay, so from here, float your knees in. We're going to see if we can go into a roll like a ball. Now, if you have any issues with your spine in terms of like compression or slipped discs, please don't do this. You can just roll over and come into sitting position. Otherwise, let's bring our legs in, wrap our arms around our legs and come into our curl-up. We're just going to start going backwards and forwards here until you can balance. Tuck your chin in, and now we're going to roll back on our spine and come up and balance. So I've got my ankles crossed here, nice circle position. Ooh. And we'll go again, rolling back and up, and last one, roll back and up and pause here. Fantastic. Bring yourself round now through to your sitting correctly position. So we've done a lovely bit of work lying down. Now if in this position you need a cushion, just pop it underneath your bottom so you can sit more easily in long frog with your feet together, knees apart. We're going to bring our arms up and cross them over here. Just finish off today with a bit of rotation. So shoulders away from ears. Breathe in to prepare and now breathe out. Let's just start turning to the side. Keep your knees out of this. Back to centre. Round to the other side. Back to centre. So twist and round. Twist and round. So really enjoying this movement, I hope. Twist and round. Now let's swap the other arm over. Twist, through, twist and centre. Let's keep our knees relaxed. Twist, twist. Good. Last one to each side now. Twisting around and centre, twist and centre. Bring the arms down. Well done. Roll the shoulders back. We're just going to finish off with a side reach once again. So knees out, breathe in, bring the arm up, enjoy this twist over to the side, reaching through, restack, bring the arm down. Let's go again, arm up and over, maybe feeling different going to this side, restack and down. One more to each side now, up and over, restack, down, and our final one, up and over, restack and down. Well done. Let's go into two final breaths here. So breathe in and breathe out. Lift the arms up, big stretch, press the air away. Good. One more time here, all the way up, big stretch, press the air away, and you can give yourself a nice clap. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've really enjoyed the variety of exercises we've done and feel quite challenged, especially with that spine curl and the single knee fold. So please do let me know how you get on. I always love to hear from you. And yeah, take care and I'll enjoy seeing you next week. Bye bye.